Good morning. Uh-oh. What am I supposed to do here, Kurt?
Turn down the volume on Clubhouse on your phone.
Okay. All right.
There we go.
All right. Let me change this over to music,
All right. We can still
and
hear
then I
you
can
on
turn it
Clubhouse.
all the way down. Hold on. We're gonna get this right, folks, because I'm doing a live remote. So, what happened? Okay, gotta get back in the
While
club.
Don is getting all set up, just saying good morning to everybody. I see Jeremiah Sams is already with us on YouTube. Thank you so much for hanging out, Jeremiah, and good morning to you as well. Rest of you guys that are in Clubhouse. Kenyatta, how are you this morning?
I am great, Kurt. How are you?
Good, 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 good. Always good to be in the place in the space. You heading out to Miami? You said, man, I
Yes,
gotta
I
I
am.
gotta start traveling like Kenyatta. That's clearly what I need to catch up to because I'm not traveling enough. No, I'm actually heading out to Lexington, Kentucky for a speaking engagement this coming Sunday. So that'll be a lot of fun. Be a lot of fun.
Yeah, nice, nice.
I've
I
not
wish
been
I
to
was
Kentucky
there to
before.
attend.
Except to drive through. I've never been to Kentucky before. But anyway, for those that are not familiar, this room is how to pay off a mortgage in 7 years. Where we are working with Don, who is in Dallas, Texas today. He is our host. He is our principal in this space, the Iceman, right? For those that are Top Gun fans, interest cancellation expert, and he is working remotely. So he's not in his normal studio today. So what we're doing is I'm actually doing the Clubhouse part, which he normally does when he's in his home base, and he will jump in here just now to kind of give us an overview of what to expect from today's room. Go ahead, Don.
All right, Kurt, can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly. Can you hear
All
him on
right.
Clubhouse, Kenyatta?
Yep, I can hear both you gentlemen. Yep.
Perfect.
All right, good, good, good. So I'm using my microphone from the computer, right? And I'm muted on Clubhouse.
Yep.
All right, so let me go ahead. Overactive bladder, uh-oh. Or OAB, let me change your world get like going hiking. Let me get that turned down
There we go.
and skip the ad so I can see myself
On YouTube.
on YouTube as well. So I can
There we
keep up
go.
with things. Come on,
And
man.
while you
This
do
this
that, I'll go ahead and invite everybody.
Go
So
ahead there,
again,
Kenyatta.
thank you for being in the room. We're excited to have this being streamed on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. If you're new to the room and you want to see these examples, go ahead and use your desktop, maybe an iPad or a laptop, so that you can see these examples. Go to ICE 10K videos with an S.com. That's ICE 10K videos with an S.com. And you'll see Don break down these examples. One thing that I can strongly suggest right now is that you raise your hand, come on stage, and go ahead and ask your particular question. Don thrives on examples. We love, love, love to know scenarios. And so if you want to get your specific diagnosis, please raise your hand so we can bring you on stage. Good morning.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting started here. And so, Kirk, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Kenyatta, after Kirk, will you introduce yourself after Kenyatta does her introduction? And then I'll introduce myself last.
All right, cool. So Kenyatta, ladies first.
Hello, hello, everyone. Again, my name is Kenyatta. You can find me at kenyatta10k.com. I have been an investor and entrepreneur for over 20 years, and I encourage rooms that change lives, just like this one, and mostly into real estate spaces. So, if you want to learn more about me, check out my bio or hit me at kenyatta10k.com. You want to do that because I can actually help you find a deal, finance that deal, cancel the interest on that deal to get you in yet another deal. As the official lender of this house, the P.I.L.L method. And right now, we're thanking Black Think Tank for having us
Mm.
here in their space. And I want to encourage you guys to follow the room, follow Don, follow Kurt, and myself if you would like, so that you can get alerted every time we do these rooms.
Nice, nice, nice. Thank you, Kenyatta. So, my name is Kirk Nugent, former missionary, IT executive turned content creator and live video coach. I've been given the title the Geek Speaker Preacher, and I like it because it really embodies my passions: technology, media, speaking, and of course ministry. While I'm growing intentionally on a number of social media platforms, my primary focus is on YouTube, where I teach small businesses, entrepreneurs, and faith based entities how to harness the power of live video. Your live stream is your digital storefront. Don Daniel is a perfect example of that, and we are excited to partner with the Pill Method. If you want to learn how to harness the power of video for yourself, for your business, your brand, your side hustle, tap in with me at kirk10klive.com. Don, Daniel, the mic is yours.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Don Daniel. I'm the founder of Pill Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. And for 16 years, we've been in this space helping people to level up on understanding how loans actually work. All right, and meaning that for since 1934, people have been paying 75% more interest than they need to pay. 75% more. Therefore, they're being 30 they get these 30-year mortgages and they just hang on forever. Well, once you understand how interest cancellation works, you can cut your interest cost by 75% and therefore pay off all of your debt in an average of 7 to 9 years. That's right, 7 to 9 years, not 30 years to never. So, folks, if you want to know more about how we do that, if you want to know how you can make those student loans go away after 5 to 7 years, mortgages are paid off in 7 to 9 years. Your car loans, your credit cards. Even some of you have, if you're a member of a church or a pastor of a church, and you have a mortgage on that church. Did you know that churches can pay off their mortgages in 5 to 7 years without extra giving from the members? I'm telling you, it is a fantastic plan once you understand how it all works. And listen, if you want to see some of these examples that we're getting ready to put on the screen, please, you want to go to ICE 10K Live, ice10klive.com, and you'll be able to see our examples when we get ready. So let's invite some of these folks up to, and the reason why we're in Black Think Tank this morning is because I'm here in Houston, Texas. And today, well, tomorrow, they're having their Juneteenth celebration, along with inviting some fabulous speakers from all across the country to come in and talk about credit, talk about entrepreneurship, real estate, how you can become a lender. All of these things are going to be happening right here in Houston. And you can, let's go ahead and put that link up there, Black Think Tank .com, and get that link for the Juneteenth celebration. Kenyatta, if we can put that up, that would be great. And so people can actually see if they want to um, check that out and get their tickets. So, anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started here with a couple of, let me see, let me pull up my. Um,
While you do that, Don, you said something that was intriguing to me. And if someone is here and never saw us in a room before, you said that you don't have to pay a mortgage in 30 years to never. What do you mean by never?
well, what I mean by never is, Kenyatta, the um, most 9 out of 10 people that you know, 9 out of 10 people you know, will never, ever pay off a mortgage because generally Americans don't have 30-year mortgages. They have a string of 5 to 7 year mortgages until they die. What does that mean? Yeah, we keep refinancing the mortgage, chasing a lower interest rate, and or taking cash out, and we never pay off that mortgage. So most people will never pay one off. So I mean, I don't care how old you are. Just count how many people you know who had a mortgage and paid it off. That'll be less than 10% of the people you know. So that's what I mean by 30 years to never, Kenyatta.
Wow, wow, wow. You guys definitely want to be a part of the solution to that problem Don just etched out. Go to ice10k videos with an s.com so you can see these examples. If you're anything like me, you need to see it to understand it. So if you're there, don't stop there. Comment, like, subscribe, and then share because that's how this information is going to get out.
All right. So let's see here. I'm working with one screen now instead of two. Let me see if I can get this to work, Kurt. So I'm going to share.
All right.
All right. See if I can get this. Oh, I know what I need to do. All right. Let me see if I can go to. There I go. And okay, there it is. Let me see if I can do it this way. Um, no, it wants me to do a whole bunch of permissions that way. So I'm trying to share what's on um, my uh, um, my Adobe Acrobat. I'm trying to get the illustrations up, but I'm only working with one screen instead of three.
if
So,
you have it as a PDF,
yeah,
yeah, you could share it a PDF.
okay.
If you click on the share button, and instead of clicking on screen, click on the top option, which is slides.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Let me do that. All right, let me see here. Share slides
Yeah, and then just say from your computer,
from your computer. Okay.
and just find the file.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. All right. File. Okay.
While we get this set up, I don't know, Kenyatta, is there anybody in the room that has a question in the chat or anything like that? And while she's checking that, if anybody online, we got about 4 people watching online. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. I'm assuming some of you came from Clubhouse, but if you have questions wherever you're watching from, you can put it in the chat there: Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and that question will come in to our comment section here in StreamYard, and we'll be able to put that on the screen. So if
So
you
we don't have any questions just yet,
okay,
but Don, is it too early for the power of the penny?
he's
Uh,
pulling up an example now.
yeah, I'm pulling. I'm
Okay,
pulling.
great, great.
Pulling that up right now. And let's see here. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to start with understanding how loans work from the very beginning. All right. So let me get back to here, and we're going to share this screen here. There we go. Oh, I see now. Go to systems. I can't share anything because I let's see. It's asking me to go into and all right, I've got to unshare
Okay, because
and
it
then
hasn't come into
Right.
the system
Quit.
yet.
Reopen.
All right. It looks like he is resetting some things up on his side, getting his getting the screen share all ready to go, and that's what we're hoping to get that done so that you can see those examples on screen. If you're a visual learner like me, then you need to see the example. So it's good to be able to have that on that side. So he's reset and he's refreshing his system now, and he'll come back into the studio in just a second. He's still here on Clubhouse, but just I'm assuming his microphone is turned down. But we'll get him back here in just a second. In the meantime, as mentioned before, if you have a question, if you want to learn how to pay off your loan, whatever your loan might be, if your loan carries any form of interest rate, then this is the room for you. You're in the right space. And we want to encourage you to come up and ask your questions so that you can be able to glean from the knowledge that Don has accumulated over years of being in this space and being an expert in interest cancellation. So, Don, how did that go? Did it work out?
Well, we'll see in a second. We'll see if I can share this. See if I can share my screen. We'll try it one more time,
Sure.
and I
Yeah,
think it's
I
I
think
think
it's
it's
working.
working.
Yeah.
All right, good. So now let me pull this up, and
Once I see it on screen, I'll put it on,
okay.
and it will be good to go.
All right, got it.
Yep, I see
All
it.
right, all right, good, folks. Here's where we're going to start, folks. We're going to start with understanding some of the basic things about how lenders make their money, how interest rates um, are not the thing that we need to focus on, but interest cost. What I have on the screen right now is a $200,000 mortgage. And most people are thinking about the fact that, man, 5.5, 6% interest is not where I want to be. And by the time I'm done here, you'll be able to see. You want to go to ice10kvideos.com, ice10kvideos.com. You'll be able to see that if you have a 6% mortgage and you have you can afford the payment, you're better off at 6% than you are at 2.99. We're going to show that today. So but first we have to understand how the bank makes its money. And once we do that, we'll be able to see. So here we have a $200,000 mortgage at 6%. The payment on that mortgage is $1,199.10. When we break that down in the summary, the bank the bank wants $231,676 um, in interest on a $200,000 loan. Folks, how is that in the world is that 6%? When in fact, it's really 115.838% of what you borrowed. So at 6%, you're going to pay back more in interest than you're paying on the principal. So that is a total of $431,676. Folks, that is like one house for the bank and one house for you. Who wants to buy a house for the bank? Anybody? All right. You just want to buy a house for you. So let's get down here and take a look at payment number one. So as we get down into payment number one, you will see that the first payment here, only $199.10 goes to principal. $1,000 goes to interest. Out of that payment of $1,199.10, $1,000 goes to interest. Well, the next month doesn't get better, much better, because your interest cost drops down to $999 and then $998 the next month. The next month after that, $997. Do you realize that the interest cost on this loan stays in the 900s? Let's check this out. We've got year 1, year 2, year 3, It's still in the 900s. Okay. Year four, $900 every month. Year five, $900. Year six, year seven. In year seven, okay, about 7.5 years, there's 900, it goes down to payment number 82. Okay. Payment number 82. That's the last $900 payment, and then payment number 83, it goes into $899. So, folks, in um, in let's see, 6, 7, 8 years, 8 years, 8 years, we're going to pay. Let's see, 5, 6, 7 years. After 7 years on this loan, this this person would pay $80,000 in interest while only paying down the principal by $20,700. Folks, in the first 7 years, they're going to pay out $100,000, and only 20,000 of that is going to go to principal. I ask my clients all the time, when do you want that to stop? Do no wonder it takes forever to pay off a loan, because all of your money is going to interest. Let's see how we can eliminate interest. So let's go back up to payment number one, and I need everybody to see this. Kenyatta, if do we have any new people in the room? Let's invite them over so that they can see this example. All right, we've got 14 people in the room. We have 4 shares. Go ahead and do us a favor, folks. Let's share this out in the hallway so more people can see and hear these examples. So if you would please go ahead and click that up arrow out of the box there, and go ahead and share this out in your hallway so people can see it and invite them to come on in. Kenyatta, let's get them over to watching this on YouTube.
Absolutely. Hi, new people. What you want to do is go to ice10k videos with an s.com. It's going to take you straight to YouTube where you can like, comment, subscribe, and share. Most importantly, watch these examples as Don break it down. And I know it's a simple act to share this room. You've heard something of value already, right? And so, how we uplift Don and help Don out is by spreading the word. So, go ahead and share the room as well.
All right, folks, and don't forget, the Black Think Tank community is holding their Juneteenth event here this weekend in Houston. We have the link at the top of the screen, and they have in-person tickets still available and virtual tickets. So check that out, so you can be here either live or virtually, and I'll get to see you once you get here. So, folks, listen, we've got on the screen here a mortgage for $200,000 at 6%. The payment is $1,199.10. Look here, $199.10 goes to principal, $1,000 goes to interest. Let's just say we start out in January. Okay, we got January. And before we get into this any deeper, let's go ahead and mod Credit Goddess. And Credit Goddess, do a quick introduction for us so that we can get into this example. We got more people coming in now.
Yes, yes, everyone. My name is Rose Laura Lewis, also known as Credit Goddess, all things credit, and the official credit expert for the Pill Method crew here. Happy Friday, everyone. Just here to support. If you guys have any questions in regards to personal credit or even business credit, definitely tap in, and don't forget, share the room. Thank you, Don. Hey, Kenyatta. Hey, Kurt.
Hey.
Right, folks, keep sharing the room. Keep sharing the room. And so right now, um, let's make this first payment in January. So we're at January, and we're making this first payment. $199.10 goes to principal. And it's applied to our $200,000 loan. Now, if you do that, look at your principal balance. You are reducing the principal balance by only $199.10. Your first balance is $199,890. So $1,000 went to interest. Only $199.10 went to principal. The bank uses the principal balance on any line to determine how much interest you pay on the very next line. All right. So always look to the very next line as to what to do. So when you're taking a look at that, so when you make payment number one, then we look at payment number two to see how much interest we pay. Well, it goes down to $999. So if you pay your mortgage in January, Kenyatta, I'm paying my mortgage in January. Do I owe any more money in January, Kenyatta?
It's canceled.
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about when I make my payment in January. I don't owe anything until February, correct?
That's right. I'm sorry. I'm looking at it. 199.10, and the
Yeah,
interest is 1,000.
right. And so now when now my payment for my principal payment for February is how much money?
It's $200.10.
Exactly. So do I have to wait till February to give the bank that money?
If you have it, you can pay it early.
I can pay it early, can't I? So if I pay that in January, the $200.10 in January, I'm paid down to the principal balance on line two already, aren't I? Because they have to apply all that $200.10 to principal. No interest comes out of that money, correct?
Correct.
All right. So I'm paid down to. So what just happened? I got rid of one line from my amortization schedule for
Hmm.
just $200. Line two has been
Hmm.
eliminated. My next mortgage payment is actually on what line of this schedule, Kenyatta?
Three.
Line three. So I'm already down to line three by just giving the bank an extra $200.10. And my payment on line three is 201.10 and it's still $998 in interest. But what happened to the $999 in interest on line two?
That's my favorite part. It's canceled.
It's canceled. Okay, so we don't have to pay. We just saved $999 in interest by giving the bank that money, by giving them $210 that they 200 $200.10 that they would have received anyway. We gave it to them early, and because of that, we don't have to give them nearly $1,000 in interest. Oh my goodness. So listen, watch this. So if we can pay January's payment again, Kenyatta, we make January's payment. But what if we learn this technique and then we take a look at the principal payments on line two, give that to the bank. The principal payment on line three, and give that to the bank early, and line four. So if we add it up, that's $603.30. If we have that available and we apply that to principal, what happens to the three interest payments on line two, three, and four?
You saved nearly $3,000.
Are you kidding me? So you can actually take $600 out of the bank that's making 1/10 of 1% interest, put that on your mortgage, put that on this mortgage, and save nearly $3,000 in interest. Knock out three payments you never have to make. So your next mortgage payment for February is actually on what line of this schedule, Kenyatta?
Line four.
We're already down to line four. We gave the bank
Three
line two, three, and four.
and four. So then we're on five.
We're on line five, exactly. So listen, folks, this is amazing. This is how we get rid of interest. This is how we get rid of payments just by knowing what happens when we apply what we call principal prepayments. Most people are totally unaware of what happens when you pay money, when you give the bank money, when you make a prepayment. This is, well, how much interest are we saving? No one knows. But now you can have an idea. You can do your own mortgage this way and then pay it off in not 30 years, but 7 to 9 years using this technique. All right. So,
John, a
yes, go
frequently
ahead.
asked question is, do you have to do this every month?
No, actually, what we do is, in our program, you do it every few months. at strategic times during the year. And this is where, let me explain to you how, where the money comes from. We take a look at all of your income and all of your expenses for the month. So we build a budget for you. So in our computer system, we're looking at how much money you're spending and how much money you're making. Number one on the budget is the money for your family to enjoy themselves. Okay, so most people are not looking at budgeting for creating memories for their family. So we're going to put that in first. That's going to be your lifestyle budget. That's the budget you have that makes life worth living. What are we going to do? How do we go on vacation? What are we doing to create memories? What about date night? What about taking the kids to their dance lessons or sports or whatever it is that you want to take them to? How do we make life more enjoyable? That goes into the budget first, not last. I live in Huntsville, Alabama, and there's a guy that lives north of me in Nashville, Tennessee. And he's talking about don't go anywhere, don't do anything, eat beans and rice 5 days a week, sell pizzas at night, and then drive a 30-year-old car, cut up your credit cards, take all of that money now and throw it at the debt. And then once you're out of debt, now you can start living. Nope. You want to start living now. Just budget it. Put it in the budget. How much do you want to put into the budget to you and your family can enjoy the fruits of your labor? That's number one. Number two, you have to put money away for savings. So get with your job, get with your financial planner, figure out how much you're going to save to get ready for retirement. Okay. Number three, you have to make at least the minimum payments on your debt. Okay, at least you got to make at least the minimum payments on the debt. And number four, you got to pay the rest of the bills. That is the utilities. That's the insurance on your car. That's the insurance on your home. That's the cell phone. That's food. That's clothing. So you've got to pay all the rest of the bills. And then when you do that, guess what? If you track it, you're going to have some money left. That's the money that the program will ask you to put into savings. Let's say it's about, some people have like $300 left, some people have $500 left over, some people have more than $1,000 left over after they track all of their spending. So let's say you have about $1,000 left over, Kenyatta, and in 3 months you'll have $3,000 um, you'll have $3,000 left over in your bank account. What could you do with that money? So let me show you just on, if we could save $3,000 that we don't need for anything else. Watch this. If we were to look at, I need you to take a look at cumulative principal on this schedule here. As we take a look at cumulative principal, we're going to take a look at, and we're going to go down to $3,000. And the first time we see $3,000, Kenyatta, what line on the schedule is this when we see $3,000 in cumulative principal?
It is line 15.
So if we were to take our $3,000 that we just saved up and then put it on this mortgage, are you saying we would knock out 15 mortgage payments we never have to make and save what? Almost $14,000 in interest we never have to pay?
Dom, that's amazing. And I just want to let you know that this is so on time because I have a couple of friends that wanted to make a bigger down payment. What do you think about that?
Listen, folks, when you're talking about, you just saw something here, okay? Let's take a look at these two loans if you wanted to make a down payment. Okay, so we got a $200,000 mortgage. I'm going to duplicate this tab, okay, on the screen. So now we have the tab duplicated. We have now, but I'm going to change this amount. Let's say they wanted to make what do you say, Kenyatta? $50,000 down payment.
Right, somewhere along there.
Okay, so that
Definitely
would,
more than 20%.
all right. So now we're looking at $150,000 on the principal part because we made a $50,000 down payment. And if we do that, then now our payment is $899.33. So look at that. Look, we're gonna compare the two loans. Okay, we got eight. We've got $1,199.10. We have 899.33. We take a look here at the total interest paid over 30 years, $173,758, as opposed to $231,676. Folks, if you want to see how you never ever put a big down payment on a loan. If you're new to the room, because we got 22 people in here now, thank you for all the people who shared the room because of you, there are now more people in here to see this example. So we want to go ahead and listen. Thank all of you for well, Shirley. Thank you for sharing the room. Charmaine, thank you for sharing the room. Terry, thank you for sharing the room. And what is this? Oh, Aye. Thank you for sharing the room for the blank black think tank. So, folks, listen. I want you to let's invite all the new people in to see this example because Kenyatta, that's a very good point that you bring up about large down payments. Never do it. Let's see why. Go ahead and let's get them over here so they can see this example, Kenyatta.
Absolutely. Hi, new people. Go to ICE 10K videos with an S.com. It'll take you over to YouTube. That's ICE 10K videos.com with the S. And while you're there, like, comment, subscribe, but most importantly, share. Even this room, if you found value, then go ahead and give Don a clap. How you do that is by sharing the room.
All right, we're up to 10 shares. Okay, we got 22 people in here. We're up to 10 shares. Let's see if we can get those shares up to 15, get a few more people in the room so that they can hear and see these examples. Okay, so go ahead and um, we're going to take a look at that and see what we can do. All right, folks, we've got, let's see here. Okay, we've got so this loan is $150,000. The other one is a $200,000 loan. Why are we taking a look at this? Because one person put $50,000 down payment on the loan. So we're looking at why they would do that, and they're saying, "Well, I pay less interest." But here's what I need you to know: when you're comparing these loans, they compare them only one way: a 30-year loan versus another 30-year loan. So if you keep the loan for 30 years, you're going to pay $173,000 in interest if you make a $50,000 down payment, as opposed to $231,000 if you don't. But that's comparing two 30-year loans. So I want to ask you, first of all, who wants to keep the loan for 30 years? Anybody? Come on. If you
Not
want if you want to pay off your loan faster than 30 years, can I get some people to put a number one in the chat? Put number one in the chat if you want to pay off your mortgage faster than 30 years. Okay? Put a number one in the chat. There you go. There you go. I see it now. All right? Put a number one in the chat if you want to pay that off faster than 30 years. So, why are we comparing two 30-year loans? Because if you compare two 30-year loans, of course, if you put $50,000 down, it's going to be you're going to be better off if you want to keep it for 30 years. But no, we want to pay it off in 5 to 7 years. Thank you for everybody who put those number ones in the chat, okay? So here's what we're doing, folks. Take a look at this. If we do this, we will start out at $150,000 and we will start out at payment number one, Kenyatta, if we put that $50,000 as a down payment, and then the bank will give us a loan based on that $150,000 starting out in payment number one. Okay, but I don't recommend putting that $50,000 down. I recommend getting the 50,000, taking the $200,000 loan instead. So Kenyatta, if we start out with the $200,000 loan, where's our $50,000? Do we still have it?
Yes.
Okay. So if we have our $50,000 and we haven't used it as a down payment, but we wanted to put it towards this loan, could we now add that $50,000 to principal?
What line would that make it be on, Don?
Okay, so what we're looking at, Kenyatta, look at this. See, cumulative. I need you all to take a look at cumulative principal here. That's the third column. And we're going to go down to $50,000 paid down on this loan, but we're not going to pay it over time. We're going to pay it all at once, giving it to the mortgage. And oh my goodness, it's
I'm
still
so
going.
excited.
It's still going. It's still going. Oh, look. We finally get down to 164 payments knocked off. 164 payments. Listen, I need you to bring up a calculator on the screen. Can you all see my calculator on the screen right here?
The example's still on because of the delay.
All right, there we go. It's on there now.
Yeah.
So we're going to take 164 payments, 164 payments. We're going to divide that by 12. Look at there. That's more than 13 years, over 13 and a half years knocked off of this loan by taking the $50,000 and putting it down as a prepayment instead of a down payment. And Kenyatta, I need you to, if you're looking at this, I need you to look over here at payment on line 163. Do we still have a $150,000 loan, don't we? Look at that. It's still a hundred. We start out. It's still $150,000 loan, but we're not starting out on payment number one. We're starting out on payment number 164 by putting that money on the loan after we establish the loan instead of before. What do you think of that, Kenyatta?
I cannot wait to relay this to my client.
Credit goddess, you still in the room?
I am.
All right. So what? So listen. Uh, what did you think about down payments on mortgages before you heard the pill method?
I thought it was necessary. I thought it was necessary until you broke it down. I'm really good at calculations and stuff like that. But you and I'm sure everyone else, we think that that's what we're supposed to do. But yeah, after viewing your examples, I'm like, wow, okay. Especially with people that say, I want to put just $20,000 down or $40,000 down so I can be done with the mortgage payment. And it's like, but you didn't get the loan yet,
Yeah.
you know? You didn't get the loan yet. So yeah,
Yes.
it's best to do it after you get the loan.
You start out at now. Listen. You still have to put the minimum down. So if you have an FHA, you can still put like 3% down. If you have a conventional, they're looking at about 10% down. If you have a business purpose loan, they're looking at about 20% down. But what we're looking at is don't put any more down than you have to. And most people, if they have it available, they will put more down than they have to put down. Okay? And so, listen, this is what we're talking about. We're trying to teach people what's going on. I have a client that's in the room right now, and he wants to share this with a family friend or relative. He wants to know, Don, will you share this information with my family friend or my relative? I said, yes, I will. But what I like for them to do is watch the videos that we have up. Do you realize this is show 98? Kenyatta, this is show 98.
Wow, wow, wow.
98. Okay, and we're going to break 100 shows next week that we've got put up here, and all of this is valuable content. So if people want to go and see this for themselves, it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, it's on Twitter, it's on LinkedIn, forever. Okay, so just go to your YouTube channel and check out this particular example. Just this example alone saves people money. Now, here's what I want you to see, folks. Instead of saving a few $1,000s by putting $50,000 down payment, a prepayment on this loan, okay, then we just saved over $145,000 in interest we never have to pay, and we still have a $150,000 loan, but we just knocked off 13 and a half years off this loan, off a 30-year loan, by putting $50,000 as a prepayment. Look, folks, here's what's great. Here's what's interesting about this. It's the same $50,000, but it has a vastly different result. So here's my question to you: the people who own the bank or own the mortgage company where you're doing business, do the people that own the bank or mortgage company, do they know this to be true? That $50,000 prepayment is way better than a $50,000 down payment. The people that own the bank, do you think they know this?
Sure they do.
Then why aren't they telling the people? Why aren't they sharing that information with the loan officers? Why aren't they training the loan officers to tell them, listen, if they want to put $50,000 down, they should do it this way instead of that way? It saves them time and it saves them interest. Why aren't the bank owners sharing this information? Come on, folks. Listen, I'm is anybody in the audience, if you are about to get a mortgage, if you're thinking about getting a mortgage, or or building a home, put a number 9 in the chat. Put a number 9 in the chat if you are thinking about buying a home or building a home. Put a number 9 in the chat if you're thinking about buying a home or building a home. All right, so we got a few.
Don, can I add to that? If you
Go right
have
ahead. Go right
a
ahead.
elder parent that still has a mortgage, put a one in the chat.
Oh, where are you going with that, Kenyatta?
Because I really feel like with the inflation, we're not talking enough about mama's house and big mama's house and grandma's house and grandpa's house. Like, if you are under the sound of Don's voice and you get in this information, I would think that, maybe you don't have a mortgage, but your loved one does. And the best thing you can do right now with the rate of inflation being as it is to protect the house that's been paid into, that you might inherit one day. I suggest that you take this information to Nana, to Grandpa, and let them know, hey, I got a solution so we can get from up under this.
Oh, so are you saying that they should invite their their parents and their grandparents to watch these videos as well?
I would. I mean, if you love them, I would. The thing of it is, you guys, they're not as savvy as you, and new information is coming about every day. And you're not gonna hear this if not for Don. You're not gonna hear it from Susie Almond. You're not gonna hear it from Dave Ramsey. You're not gonna hear it. It's gotta be here, and that is why it's so imperative that we get this information out. And I can't think of another group of people that need this more than the seniors.
All right, folks, you heard it. So Kurt, we've got some people, we've got some comments online, don't we?
Yeah, we do have a couple of comments online. Give me one second. I'm just trying to get the screen set. Okay, here we go. Yeah, yeah. So Sonia M. Smith is on YouTube. We got some ones as well from several people. A couple of folks that are just saying good morning. We want to say a word of thanks to all of you that have decided to come over to YouTube and hang out with us. But yeah, we have some comments here from Sonia Smith. Don't put any more down than you have to put down, is what she's got on here. Don't even put any more down than what you have to put down as a prepayment after you got the loan. So she's just agreeing with what has been shared already, Don. And yeah, prepayment versus down payment. Wow, that's one of the comments that she has here as well.
All right. So, folks, we're putting that back on the screen. So, thank you for that Kenyatta. We putting that $50,000 as a prepayment instead of a down payment knocks years off your loan and saves you over $145,000 in interest you never have to pay, and you start out on line 164 of your schedule instead of line 1 of your schedule. So, folks, if you're thinking about getting a loan, you need to come up to the stage and tell us about the mortgage you would like to have. Let's go over. Let's go over what we can, how we can um, save you money on setting up your loan. Let's go over how you can get the loan that you want. Let's go over how you can get rid of that loan, your credit cards and your student loans and everything in 7 years. Let's bring somebody up and to ask a question about paying that house off early.
Okay, if you want to see your own examples, go ahead and raise your hand so I can bring you up on stage. Because by now I know you have a situation that you want answers to. If you want to see your own example, go ahead and raise your hand. But Don, you know what? I'm always on PropStream as an investor, and I'm always looking up properties, right? They
Right.
have a tab that says mortgage and transaction history. And there was a time when I saw my neighbor was behind on mortgages, and I wanted to have the conversation to help them. I have the information pulled up if you want to use that as an example.
Well, here's what I'd like to do first of all, okay? Because
Mm-hmm.
number one, what we want to do is help people before they get behind. Once they get behind, there's not much I can do. That so what we want to do is make sure that people do not get behind. And here's something that we learned very interesting about 3 weeks ago, Kenyatta, when we were all in Nashville, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you heard that someone that a lot of you know paid off their mortgage in 4 years. We were in Nashville, Tennessee, at the Developing a Spiritual Money Mindset conference that I held there. And we had 17 fabulous speakers from all over the country. Kenyatta, you were one of our speakers. So thank you very much for that. And we had our keynote speaker was Dr. Eric Thomas. All right, Dr. Eric Thomas came in to talk to us, and it was phenomenal. And one of the last things he said, folks, was this: listen to what Dr. Eric Thomas has to say about his own mortgage situation.
Listen to me, y'all. I didn't even know he was responsible. But one of his mentees, probably about 4 years ago, maybe, took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, "Oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money?" I was like, "I don't know, forever." She's like, "You sure?" Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. And so when I paid the house off, my boy was like, "You ain't gotta do that, you can do this." But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest. Do me a favor. Take these principles and use them. Make the rest of your life the best of your life. I love you guys. Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard the number one motivational speaker in the entire world say that he used the pill method to pay off his mortgage in just 4 years. It was phenomenal to hear. And do you know how many people have reached out to us because they heard ET uses the pill method? Listen, go ahead and put at the top of the screen, Kenyatta. Um, if you want to know how you can pay off your loan faster, if you want to know how you can do this, if you want to know what you can do, we're going to put the ICE 10 ice10k.com at the top of the screen, ice10k.com at the top of the screen. You'll be able to find that link that says get a savings and earnings report. Click that link, folks. Click the link that says get a savings and earnings report. Once you do that, follow the instructions. When you follow those instructions, here's what's going to happen. You're going to put in some contact information and a cell phone number. Once you confirm that cell phone number, confirm it, and then you're going to get a code. Wait for the code. Only click confirm one time. Wait for the code, and then once you receive the code, all right. Once you receive the code, then what you'll do is um, put that code back into the website. Once you put that code into the website, guess what? You will then the program will then ask you to confirm the code. Once you confirm the code, then it will ask you, do you want to start saving now? Of course you do. And then it'll let you into the financial form. Put all your information into that financial form. Once you put your information into that financial form, then somebody from my staff will give you a call and set up a consultation for you. You can then know the month, day, and year you will be debt free, and it's usually within a 7 to 9 year window. Once you do that, all right, once you get that, then you will be able to also know how much interest you can save and how you can take that interest and start your own family bank. Stop taking your children's inheritance and spending it on interest, and then set yourself up to start gaining generational wealth with that money. And we're showing people how that interest that they're no longer paying can now go into building generational wealth. And one of the tools that we're using is permanent life insurance. We're taking that money, putting into permanent life insurance. Do you know two of our clients, I'll tell you just about two of them. One made 14% on their money last year by putting it into permanent life insurance. I'm telling you,
That's
it,
amazing, Don. That is
well,
amazing.
well, the other one made 18% on their money. So listen, folks, and listen, do you know what's happening in the stock market right now? It was another record drop in the stock market yesterday. Did you hear about that? I
Yeah,
mean,
I saw the rooms going crazy over that.
exactly, exactly. If your money was in permanent life insurance, do you realize that people who have their money in permanent life insurance, especially when they're working with us, getting an IUL? Uh, and IUL stands for Index Universal Life. Index Universal Life. They didn't lose a dime. Our clients aren't losing anything. Do you know that some people have lost half their earnings on their 401k because of what's been happening lately? Our people who are using permanent life insurance haven't lost a dime. Okay? You cannot lose with what we're using here. This only makes money. So, but you can't lose money. Not just the principal, I'm talking about all the interest you've earned over the years. You can't lose that either. It can't, it's in the contract. So it is not subject to the losses in the stock market. I'm telling you, insurance is the way to go. If you want to know more about how you can hedge your bets, if you want to know about how you can use permanent life insurance as a way of working with your pill method program, not only to save interest, but to make interest for the future. You, Kenyatta, some of these people who, some of our clients who are doing this, do you realize that they are, um, let's see here, they are, I want to be very careful about this, taking that money that used to go to interest, putting it into the life insurance, and we're projecting that out 10, 20, 30 years, okay, that of their working life. They're going to take that money and they're going to become millionaires with money that used to go to interest that they were giving away to the bank. Those
Oh,
houses that they were,
I
those
bet you
houses.
along the way. I'm
Go ahead.
sorry. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
I
Go
bet
ahead,
you
Kenya.
I bet you along the way they can make an even bigger impact if they can borrow against it for a real estate investment property and then, do some creative like the iceberg strategy and put that money in there and I'm just over here thinking. Uh,
Listen, you're right, Kenyatta. They can take that money, they can borrow against it, and then when they're paying it back out of the proceeds from their investment, they're paying. They can set it up so they can pay themselves back the very interest they would have been paying the bank. In other words, Kenyatta, they become their own bank with the earnings from the permanent life insurance. If you want to know more about that, hit me up on the back channel or my IG. All right, so just put in there the letters IUL and your phone number. IUL. I want to know more about the IUL or permanent life insurance and your phone number in on the back channel or on my Instagram, and we will have one of our counselors give you a call so that you can find out more about this little known um, uh, uh, monetary device. Guess what? J.C. Penney used permanent life insurance, borrowing against it to start his empire. Let's see who else. Walt Disney used the money in permanent life insurance, borrowed against it to start his empire as well. There have been so many people along the way that have started investments, just like you're talking about, Kenyatta, out of permanent life insurance, borrowing against it, and then paying themselves back with interest. And guess what? If you pay yourself back with the interest that you would have paid the bank, the insurance company has to start paying you interest on your interest. Listen, it is such a great scenario. And we're working with our clients every day on this. Once we figure out how much money goes towards debt reduction, there's a point at which more is too much. And when we call that the law of diminished return, once we figure out where your return is minimal on canceling interest, then we take the rest of the money and start investing it in IULs and start growing your own family bank. I'm telling
Now,
you.
Don,
Yes, go ahead.
because we have these conversations all the time, I know what the law of diminished return is. But for those who don't know, what would you say, in layman's terms, that mean?
Okay. The law of diminished return. In fact, let me go ahead and put something on the screen so I can show that as I can show it better than I can talk about it. Let me go ahead and log into our program, and I'll show you what happens when you put too much. money on in the wrong and the at the wrong place. So I'll tell you a quick story first while I'm getting that set up. Right here in back at home in Huntsville, I have a young family on our program, and with our program, he's making more money now than he was years ago. All right. So he's been on the program now, let's see, about 7 years now. So he's making more money now than he was when they first started. And he's making so much more money now that the last $263,000 that he owes on his mortgage, he's going to be able to pay that off in 3 years, 3.5 years. The amount of interest that he's going to pay, though, Kenyatta, is only $16,000. 16,000. He was so happy to report back what the program was telling him. And I said, you know what? You're paying the mortgage off too fast and you're not paying enough interest. He says, I thought that was the idea, to save interest and to pay it off fast. But I said, listen, here's what you want to do. Let's get your program up and running, and let's just tell the program you're making $2,000 a month less. $2,000 a month less. So we tell the program that, and then the program recalculates everything because it acts just like a financial GPS as soon as it gets new information. It says, now you're going to be out of debt in not 3.5 years, you're going to be out of debt in 6.5 years now. And instead of paying $16,000 in interest, you're going to pay $20,000 in interest. And he says, Don, why is that better? I mean, I just doubled the time I'm going to be in debt here. And I thought I thought we were supposed to be getting out of debt here. So I said, listen, if you want to get out of debt in 3.5 years, then you have to put that $2,000 a month back into your budget for 3.5 years. 3 years is 36 months. A half year is another 6 months. 36 plus 6, that's 42 months. So that $2,000 a month has to go back into your budget for 42 months. 42 months times $2,000 a month. That's $84,000. Now remember, the program says now you're getting out of debt in 6.5 years, but you have to pay $20,000 in interest. But if you want to pay just $16,000 in interest, then you have to put that $84,000 back into the program for debt reduction. My question to him is, do you want to pay an extra $84,000 just to save $4,000 in interest? What do you think he said, Kenyatta? 84 grand to save $4,000. He says, no, I don't want to do that. I said, now, why do you want to pay off the mortgage anyhow? Why do you want to pay the mortgage off in 3.5 years? He says, so I can build a house. He says, well, you should build a house now, because now this was 2 years ago. I said, you should build a house now because it's only going to get more expensive. And he says, well, the house I want to build, I have to have at least 10% down. And that is going to be $70,000. So he was going to build a $700,000 house for him and his family. And he needed the minimum down, which was 10%. I said, well, you have it. He says, well, no, I don't. I don't have that kind of money in the bank. I said, you have it in your house. Go ahead, get a home equity line of credit, a HELOC. All right. So get a home equity line of credit on your current home, which, because it was almost, I mean, he only had $263,000 because it started out at about 400,000. So with the market conditions, his house was worth even more. So he got a HELOC. He took the $70,000 out of that money and put the down payment on his new house 2 years ago. Because of COVID, there were some supply chain issues. The house was delayed in getting finished. It's almost done. At I saw him at the barber shop a week ago. Kenyatta. Kenyatta, are you there?
I'm back. I was answering questions in the chat. I'm
Oh,
back.
okay.
This is very interesting. What did he say at the barbershop?
At the barber shop, he says the house is almost done. And remember, he says we started this back 2 years ago, and he had a rate that was locked in back then. His prices on his house and all the materials were locked in 2 years ago. The windows are three times as much now, but he doesn't have to pay three times as much because his price got locked in 2 years ago. And the house next door to his, Kenyatta, are you ready? The house next door to his just sold for $900,000.
You guys, if y'all don't understand what just happened, that deserves a follow for Don. That deserves for you to go ahead and make your appointment with Don. That deserves for you to tell all your friends about what you just heard. And if it went over your head, that's just because you haven't hung out with us enough. Follow the room, the P.I.L.L method room. It will all make sense, I promise you. But basically, what Don just said, it was that he encouraged an investor to build a house for his family earlier than he perceived doing so. And in doing that, he came into an instant equity of over $200,000, all while financing it from money he already paid into the house he previously owned. This is what we call the play. This is a real play.
That's right, Kenyatta. So he takes money out of the house that he's paying off and makes the down payment on a new house, and he is now the house is worth at least $200,000 more now than he started, and he hasn't even moved in yet. I'm telling you, folks, this thing is for real. Start, and what put him in the position was all the extra equity he gained. Okay, all the extra equity he gained in a shorter period of time by paying less interest with this program. And by doing that, put himself in a position that he started some years ago now, put him in a position that when an opportunity comes along, you can take advantage of it because you put yourself in a financial position early. Folks, if you want to know more about IULs, if you want to know about more about how you can use your current situation to build up on your next situation, you need to go to ice10k.com. Ice10k.com. Fill out that information on getting a savings and earnings report. And do you know that how he was able to take advantage of the situation? Because we provide coaching and customer service with our program. For the customer service is for a lifetime, and we provide coaching as well. Customer service for a lifetime and coaching. Do you know that the coaching he received, he paid for an hour of coaching? My clients pay for it. He paid, so he got some coaching for free with the program, but he paid for an hour of coaching. Kenyatta, do you know what he paid? You know what he paid for coaching?
What he paid, Don? What he pay?
He paid $150. That part, $150, and he's got a brand new house that's worth $200,000 more now than he did when he started building it. Oh my goodness, we got two new people on the
Coffee
stage.
Brown. Coffee Brown, I know you like that return. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Queen.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm on the stairs right now, getting some exercise in this morning, and Don doing the most. Let me catch my breath real quick. um, this is just crazy, Don. The guy. What I also heard you say is basically the guy was able to save $200,000 on the same house. Had he not built it then, he would have been paying $900,000.
Well, the truth of the matter is, he told me if he hadn't started then, he wouldn't have that house because he wasn't he couldn't afford the $900,000.
Listen here,
Come on.
listen here. Don't nobody got no extra. Well, some of us do, but the average American doesn't have almost $1 million laying around to invest in a property.
Come on now. That was so he was so happy and he thanked me profusely. So folks, listen, do you think he minded paying that 150,000?
Wow, wow, wow.
Kenyatta, you know what he could do?
What
I'm
did
just
you
saying.
do? Tell me, tell
He
me.
could
You know
literally
I'm
go ahead and
strategizing over
sell.
here.
Listen here, he could actually go ahead and stay in the house that he in, do some upgrades to the property that he's in, make it a higher investment, turn around and sell the one that he's building, and take that bread and invest it in something else. Buy him some rental properties.
It sound like what he can do is
You know what I'm
sell
saying?
that house and then buy multiple houses, putting down the minimum.
Exactly. See, that's what I'm talking about. Buy some rental properties, make some more assets, create more assets out of that. Yeah,
What
for sure.
what credit goddess like to say, money babies.
Money,
Money
the
babies.
children of not the corn. Okay.
Oh, listen, folks. We got listen. We got a general contractor in the room. Katina, uh, uh, what they're talking about is that valid?
It sure is. Very valid.
Come on, talk to us. Tell us who you are, Katina, and tell us why you think that's valid.
I am Katina McClinton, the general contractor, licensed in the state of Florida. And I've been doing contracting for about 20 years now. But that's a valid point, taking what I think Miss Coffee said, stay in the house that he's in. What if he doesn't sell it? Sell the new house? What if he capitalizes off Airbnb short-term rental and generate that if that's possible? And if he does sell it, like she said, go and buy multiple properties, put the minimum down, and do short-term rentals on those things, or even sell the do a fix and flip. So there's all kind of ways you can do strategize with that scenario and multiply and make multi-million millions of dollars doing those different strategies. So and just make sure he picks the right contractor if he needs a contractor. So
Oh, I heard that. I heard that. I heard that. The right contractor. Listen, folks.
hmm
Here's what we're talking about here. I want you to listen very, very closely. All of this starts somewhere. Right now, here's where it started. Here was an opportunity for a young man who wasn't making a whole lot of money at the time to accelerate the payoff on his loan, to be able to pay it off in about 9 years. He gained equity at 4 to 5 times the regular rate at a much lower interest cost, started making more money, and now he's now in a position to say, listen, with this more money, I can pay this house off even faster. But instead of doing that, he's now in a position to take money out of his current home to build his dream home instead. Here's what he's going to do. He's going to put a renter in his current home. Now, he could do short-term rentals as well because his mother is on my His mother and his father are on my program as well. His mother and the father, the the house that he used to live in, they bought. Now, this is the house before he's the one he's in now. They bought that house and turned it into an air, and they're turned it into an Airbnb, and they're killing the game over there. So he's putting a renter in his house, and then when he moves into his new $700,000, oh, I'm sorry, his new $900,000 home, okay, and he's going to be able to pay off both those houses on this program in 10 years. What? Yeah, 2 30-year mortgages in 10 years. Remember, he took out a HELOC on this other house. I'm not going to tell you how much he took out. I'll just tell you how much he's using. But he took money out of that home to do some things. But now he's going to be able to pay off the current home and his new home in 10 years because he's going to put a renter in. Now, if he takes, I have no idea if he's planning on following his parents' lead and going to do long term or short term rentals. Either way, he's going to make a lot. He's going to make a lot of money. He could make even more, I'm hearing, if he went the short term rental route. Would that be correct?
Yes, it will be.
All right, all right. So, Miss Coffee, are you still exercising? Because we heard from you, but we didn't get to hear who you are and what you do. Are you able to share that this morning? Coffee Brown? Okay, she's probably busy. Well, folks, listen. We are out of town. I listen. We have right now. We're here in Houston, getting ready for the Juneteenth celebration for this weekend. It's going to be a fabulous event. We're going to put that. We're going to put that up at the screen just in a second here. But first of all, if you like what you heard today, all right, I need you to click on the link and number one, get your savings and earnings report done. Okay, click on getting your savings and earnings report. Number two, get my book. The book itself is the only book on Amazon that talks about what we're talking about now. Out of 33 million titles, it's the only one that talks about what we're talking about. Get the book, and we'll make sure that that card you've been clicking on at the top of the screen, we're going to make sure you get a 10K card as well. So once you get the book, then you're going to screenshot your receipt. And Miss Kenyatta, what are they going to do with that receipt? Because we're ending the room early today. Okay, we're going to be done by the bottom of the hour. All right, we're ending the room just a little bit early today. So I want you to go ahead and get that part done. Um, get your savings and earnings report. Buy my book. Get it today, and get a 10K card that goes along with it. Kenyatta, how are they going to get their 10K card?
What you want to do is upload your screenshot receipt to step 3 where it says get 10K card. Then what you want to do is build that card out to your own specifications with your social media handles, your phone number, email address, etc. Let us know where you want to receive it, and in an hour or less you'll receive your very own digital 10K card value at $100.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here today. You've heard how to pay off mortgages and all your other debt in 7 to 9 years. You've heard how to take the interest that you're saving and invest it in your own family bank. Some of you are going to reach out on my Instagram or on the back channel, and you're going to put in there IUL. You want to know more about IULs and your phone number. You're going to do that. Some of you have heard about how you can get into short term rentals. Some of you have heard about how you can take money out of your current house to help you to build your new house. All of that information is right here with us in the P.I.L.L method. I want to thank you so very much for being with us today and learning what you've learned. This information is going to be on the internet forever encourage your friends to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch these videos. We have this is show number, what is it? Show number what, 98? We
98.
98. We have almost 100 shows, and we got content just like this that's out there forever helping people. Folks, and not only that, the last thing we're going to hear is from Dr. Eric Thomas. Yeah, your boy ET is in the house. We had him as a keynote speaker with us 3 weeks ago, and it was phenomenal. And here is what, and we're going to end what our room today on his words. Listen to what he says about his marriage and his mortgage.
Listen to me, y'all. I didn't even know he was responsible. But one of his mentees, probably about 4 years ago maybe, took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. And so when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest. Do me a favor, take these principles and use them. Make the rest of your life the best of your life. I love you guys. Take care.